Find the degree 3 Taylor polynomial T3x. It's the notation for degree 3 Taylor polynomial for function e to the negative x times sine x centered at 0. So we know that the nth degree Taylor polynomial is given by this formula. Okay, Tn, just the nth degree, c0 plus c1 x minus center plus c2 x minus center squared all the way to cn, where those constants, the c0, c1, c2, c3, etc., are found by this. This is nth derivative of the function, evaluate at the center, divided by n factorial. So in our case, we are asked to find T3. So this function will be approximated by T3, which is using this one, we only write up to x cubed. And by the way, the center A is 0 in our case. So this is c0 plus c1x plus c2x squared plus c3x cubed. Okay, degree 3, so we went all the way to 3. Degree 2 means we would stop here, c0 plus c1x plus c2x squared. Now we need to determine c0, c1, c2, and c3. Okay, we start with the function. The function is given e to the negative x sine x. So c0 means c0, c0 means 0th derivative. So 0th derivative means the function itself. So from this one we can find c0. Just evaluate the function. That's the 0 means 0th derivative, and evaluate at 0. So just evaluate at 0 and divide it by 0 factorial, which is 1. So e to the negative 0 means e to the 0, which is 1 times sine 0 is 0, so 0. Okay, divided by 0 factorial, which is 1, so I didn't write that. So c0 is 0. Now let's find the first derivative. Okay, here. So this is a product of two functions, so we must use the product rule. And I have repeatedly used the derivative of e to the negative x, which is itself, times derivative of negative x, which is negative 1. So negative e to the negative x. Okay, so this will be used a lot of times here. So here we are finding derivative of this function using the product rule. So derivative of first factor is here, leave second alone, plus leave first alone times derivative of second, which is cosine. Okay, like when you have a product and you want to find the derivative, that would be u prime v plus v prime u, the product rule. Now we have first derivative. So from this one we can find c1. Okay, first derivative c1. So this is the first derivative, evaluate at 0. So replace x by 0. So, and after I did this product rule, I factored negative e to the negative x out. Okay, just simplifying. Now plug in 0, so minus e to the negative 0 or 0, same thing, e to the 0 is 1. Sine 0 is 0 minus cosine 0 is 1, divided by 1 factorial. Okay, c1 means divided by 1 factorial, which is 1, so I didn't have to write. This is negative 1 times negative 1, positive 1 over 1, just 1. Now we need to find second derivative. That's the derivative of first derivative. So this is first derivative, which is a product. So again, using product rule, we find the derivative of outside, this negative, and this produces another negative. They become positive, and leave inside alone, plus leave outside alone, take the derivative of inside. Then we can factor this out. Sine x minus cosine x, negative cosine x, negative sine x, and in fact we can cancel sine x and cosine, negative, negative. Negative 2 copies of cosine. It's a times, so we can write negative 2 in the front. So this is second derivative. Now based on this, we can find C2. Okay, so C2 would be then evaluate at 0. So negative 2 times e raised to 0, 1 times cosine 0, 1, divided by 2 means 2 factorial. Okay, coming from the formula. So that's negative 2. 2 factorial is also 2. Negative 2 over 2 means just 1. Okay. Now we need to find third derivative to find C3. So we are finding derivative of this one. So we can leave negative 2 outside here, and for these two we can use the product rule, and we get this one, and we can factor e to the negative x outside, and negative 2, negative, negative, positive, and we get this one. So based on this one, we can find C3. So C3 means evaluate this at 0. So 2 times e raised to 0 is 1 times cosine 0 is 1 plus 0 all over. Now C3 means 3 factorial. And that's 6, by the way. 3 factorial is 6. So on the top, we have 2 over 6, which is 1/3. Now we can write the degree 3 polynomial. So here I forgot to put this negative sign. I mean, you could be owing this one negative here. Okay. So thus the degree 3 polynomial, Taylor polynomial, is C0. Okay, that is 0. So I don't have to write. Okay, I'm just gonna make it 0 just to illustrate. Okay, plus C1. C1 is found to be 1. We don't have to write 1, just x, plus C2, which is negative 1. So I'm going to just write negative 1, x is squared, plus C3 is 1/3 x cubed. Okay, that's final. We don't have to write 0. X minus x squared plus 1/3 x cubed.